I worked the front gate at a massive theme park in Florida. One afternoon, right on schedule, one of those classic summer thunderstorms rolled in, heavy rain, thunder, the works. A man came charging up to my booth absolutely drenched, slammed his hand down, and demanded a full refund for his entire family of 6. I calmly explained that weather refunds aren't a thing and that the policy is printed right on the back of every ticket. That's when he leaned closer and shouted, "I know you people have a dome. I saw it online." I blinked. He continued, completely serious, insisting that the park had a giant glass dome covering hundreds of acres and that we were just refusing to turn it on. He told me to activate the dome immediately, or he'd sue. He truly believed the rain was optional. I was running a log flume attraction, a ride that is extremely, aggressively, unmistakably wet. There are warning signs everywhere. Staff announce it. The ride is literally boats splashing through water. A woman stepped off her log looking like she'd just survived a shipwreck. She waited for me to unlock the gate, took one step out, looked down at herself, and started screaming. She was wearing a white silk blouse and expensive leather pants. She demanded that I pay for her dry cleaning because, nobody told her, the ride involved water. I gestured vaguely to the boats. And the water. And the waterfall behind her. She was unmoved. I used to work as a costumed character, the big, furry, head-to-toe kind. One brutally hot July day, a dad shoved his screaming toddler toward me for a photo. The kid was terrified of the giant mouse standing in front of him and was clearly not having a magical moment. The father got annoyed and snapped at me, "Take the head off. You're scaring him." I tried to gesture that I couldn't remove it, but he started physically tugging at my head, trying to pull the costume apart. Security had to intervene before he fully decapitated a mascot in front of dozens of children. I was operating a roller coaster with a strict height requirement, 54 inches, no exceptions. A woman tried to bring her son on who was very clearly several inches too short. I denied entry. She stormed off. 20 minutes later, she returned. The kid was walking strangely. I looked down and realized she had stuffed 4 pairs of thick wool socks into his shoes, along with high heels inside the sneakers, to artificially boost his height. When I called her out, she spat at me and told her son I was personally responsible for ruining his birthday. At guest relations, a woman came in livid that the park was crowded. It was a Saturday in July. She said, "I paid the same price as everyone else. Why should I have to wait in lines?" Then she clarified her solution. She wanted us to clear the park for 1 hour so her kids could ride everything without waiting. She wasn't asking for express passes. She wanted 20,000 people removed. When I said no, she asked for the CEO's phone number. I worked a slow-moving dark ride. One day, the emergency alarm went off and we had to stop everything and turn on the work lights. A man had jumped out of his ride vehicle because he dropped his hat. He was wandering around the track, near high-voltage equipment and moving animatronics, trying to retrieve it himself. When security finally got him out, he tried to fight them and screamed that we owed him a new hat because the wind inside the building knocked it off. At the entrance to a high-speed coaster, a woman approached holding a newborn baby, maybe 2 weeks old. She tried to walk straight through the turnstile. I stopped her and said the baby couldn't ride. She looked confused and replied, "It's fine. He's strapped to me." I had to explain basic physics and G-forces to a grown adult who thought an infant could safely endure loops at highway speeds. She left calling me a baby hater. I worked at a safari-style ride with live animals. A guest complained that the lions were sleeping. I explained that lions are nocturnal and sleep most of the day. He told me to poke them, because he paid to hear them roar. He suggested replacing real animals with robots since real ones were lazy. He also demanded a refund because a giraffe didn't walk over and lick his hand. A man asked me what time the 3 o'clock parade started. I said, 3 o'clock. He looked at his watch, 2:55, and asked if we could delay the parade by 10 minutes because his lunch reservation ended at 3:15. He wanted us to pause hundreds of performers and floats for his sandwich. A teenager tried to bring an entire large pepperoni pizza onto an upside-down roller coaster. I told him it had to go in a locker. He argued that he could hold it. Eventually, he gave it to his friend, who secretly shoved a slice into his pocket. When the ride returned, the friend was covered in sauce and cheese, and the riders behind him were furious. I worked at a park that sells express access passes to skip the lines. One afternoon, a woman marched up to the ride entrance, lifted her shirt, and flashed me. I froze, looked away, tried to process what just happened. She got angry and snapped, "I flashed you. Let me on." She genuinely believed Flash Pass meant exposing yourself to the ride operator for access. I had to explain, very carefully, that it was a digital reservation system, not a bizarre barter involving nudity. Security and police were called. On one of our biggest roller coasters, we have a strict policy: no loose items, including prosthetics unless specially secured. A man insisted his prosthetic leg was safe. He refused to remove it or use the approved harness. Halfway through the ride, during a corkscrew, the leg flew off. It landed in the splash zone of a nearby log flume, terrifying an entire boat of guests. He demanded we shut down multiple rides immediately to retrieve it. 2 major attractions were closed for over an hour. I worked the parking lot tram, where strollers must be folded for safety. One woman refused to collapse her massive double stroller, yelling that it cost too much money to fold. She tried forcing it into a regular seat, scratching the tram and blocking hundreds of guests. Eventually, she sat inside the stroller to prove it fit. She got stuck. Maintenance had to be called to pry her out while a line of angry families watched. A man showed up at first aid demanding we pay for his dental work. He admitted he had snuck a turkey leg onto a wooden roller coaster, which is against the rules, and while riding, he chipped a tooth biting down on the bone. He argued that if we sell food in the park, we should allow it on rides. He also admitted he hid the turkey leg under his jacket during the safety check. At a children's coaster, adults can ride with kids, but only if they fit safely. A very large man tried squeezing into a tiny car. The lap bar wouldn't lock. I told him he couldn't ride. He stood up, ripped the lap bar off its hinges, threw it on the ground, and yelled, "There. Now it fits. Start the ride." We evacuated the entire attraction and called the police for property damage. At the height check station, a dad tried bribing me. He handed over a wet, crumpled $20 bill and whispered, "Just let him through. He's basically tall enough." The kid was about 4 inches too short. I handed the money back and said no. The dad got aggressive and said if the kid fell out, it wouldn't be my problem. I told him the paperwork and trauma would absolutely make it my problem. I worked at a castle restaurant where princesses visit tables. A mother complained that Cinderella spent less time at their table than the one next to them. She had timed it. She demanded Cinderella return and stand silently at their table for exactly 1 minute and 30 seconds to make it fair. During a Halloween event designed to be frightening, a woman punched a scare actor in the face. She argued that being scared justified self-defense. Security explained she paid specifically to be frightened. She broke the actor's nose and was banned for life. At the water park dining area, a woman changed her baby's dirty diaper on a table next to people eating. When I politely asked her to use the changing station 10 feet away, she threw the diaper at me and yelled that I was shaming motherhood. I went home and showered immediately. I was lifeguarding at the lazy river, one of the calmest attractions in the entire park. A man was floating along with his young daughter and thought it would be hilarious to flip other guests out of their tubes. At first it was annoying. Then he flipped an elderly woman who panicked because she couldn't swim well. She started screaming and grabbing for the edge. I blew my whistle and told him to stop immediately. He swam over to the wall, rolled his eyes, and yelled, "It's a water park. You're supposed to get wet. Relax." We escorted him out. On the way, he told his crying daughter that the lifeguard was a fun police Nazi who hated joy. We have a ride that simulates space travel. It spins, rotates, and absolutely destroys people who ignore the warning signs. A woman exited the ride, threw up everywhere, and then demanded a refund, not just for the ride, but for her clothes. That wasn't new. What was new was her next demand. She wanted her lunch refunded, too. Her reasoning was that since the ride made her vomit, she never actually got to digest the food, meaning her money was wasted. She wanted the park to reimburse her for a burger she had already thrown up. I worked in a famous wizard-themed area of the park. An adult guest asked where magic wand training happened. I pointed them to the interactive wand locations. They shook their head and said, "No. The real magic." They were fully serious and believed the theme park was secretly a real wizarding school. They thought if they asked the right employee, they'd be invited to learn telekinesis and join a hidden society. They were in their 30s. A coaster got stuck on the lift hill for about 10 minutes due to a sensor issue. It happens. Everyone was safe, and the ride restarted shortly after. One guest later came to guest services claiming he now had PTSD and spinal compression from sitting still. He demanded 5 lifetime passes for his family. When offered a skip-the-line pass instead, he threatened to call the news and accuse us of holding him hostage. I was working the parking toll booth. The fee was $25. A man in a Corvette pulled up and asked, "Do you know who I am?" I said no. He informed me he had 50,000 Instagram followers and expected free parking and VIP access. When I charged him anyway, he live-streamed himself paying and told his followers to boycott the park. His card declined. A woman lost an earring on a roller coaster. It fell into a restricted gravel area under the track. She demanded we shut the ride down immediately so she could search for it. The earring was a fake diamond from a big box store. When told we checked the tracks after closing, she tried climbing the security fence. Police arrested her while she screamed about her valuable jewelry. A guest brought a service dog, which is normally fine. Then he insisted the dog needed to ride the roller coaster with him. He claimed the dog enjoyed the wind. We explained the restraints are for humans and the dog would fall out and die. He accused us of discrimination and tried to strap the dog in using his belt. We escorted him out for animal endangerment. A frantic mother reported her child missing. We launched the lost child protocol immediately. After 20 minutes, she admitted she had left the child in the car, asleep, because she didn't want to wake him to buy tickets. She wanted us to retrieve him so she didn't have to walk back. It was over 90 degrees. Police were called. Her car window was smashed. A guest once tried to argue with me about the timing of a parade. He believed that since he arrived late, the parade should start again or loop back so he could see it from the beginning. He was offended when I explained parades don't work like YouTube videos. After years in the park, one thing became clear. No matter how many signs you post, rules you explain, or warnings you give, someone will always believe the laws of physics, time, or common sense don't apply to them, because they bought a ticket.